In honor of Black History Month, the City of Boynton Beach is hosting a series of videos highlighting Black business owners in Boynton Beach. Today we are featuring Anthony Barber, owner of Troys BBQ. Anthony, let's begin with the first question.
All right.
What inspired you to open your business in Boynton Beach, and when did you open?
Well, our business was started in 1996 in Boynton Beach by my dad, Troy Davis. Our original location is about 1.9 miles from our current location north. It was a small building, very unassuming, didn't have any seats, didn't have a drive-through. So when my parents decided to retire from the business in 2017, 16, we struck a deal that I would become the main daily operations person for the business, and we moved to the current location that we're in now.
Great. And I know we're at the original location in Boynton Beach, but you recently opened another restaurant in Boca Raton, and we hear you have a location that's set to open soon in West Palm Beach.
Correct.
How do you decide when and where to add locations to your brand?
Well, I know that I probably will never open a location outside of Palm Beach County just out of fear of trying to make sure that I could operate all the restaurants. But the thing that drove us to Boca Raton was the history behind the building, and it also being a prime location and it being a standalone. The Boca Raton location was initially or originally home to Tom's Barbecue in the late 80s and early 90s, and they were legendary in the barbecue world. And as far as our West Palm Beach location is concerned, it's kind of going to be like a Troy's Express, not on the same grand scale as everything else that we've done, but it'll still be the same menu, just maybe not as big of a location. So what helps us to decide what we're going to do and where we're going to go is just the idea of where we see traffic, where we know that there's a demand, where we know that the studies have shown that there's a good mix of residential, there's a good mix of lunch, and a good mix of like a traffic flow and traffic patterns where people can kind of see you, smell you, and want to come by and enjoy you.
Absolutely. The barbecue smell is just terrific. So Anthony, you also have a Troy's barbecue food truck. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what events you might go to with that?
Yeah, for sure. We have two food trucks or food trailers. There's a red one and a gray one. The gray one we got last year. We had initially a black trailer or black food truck that we got rid of. The engine died on it, so we converted to just do trailers because actually they're less maintenance. Some of the things that we've done everything that Boynton Beach has ever done. We've done the parade. We've done Pirates Fest. We've done the Blarney Bash. We've done back to school thing Boynton did. We actually did some food giveaways and things like that with the food truck. So in addition to that, we also do the Boynton Beach Brewery District, due south, Copper Point, and things like that over there. So we go to breweries, we go to special events. We also do private parties.
That's great. And I noticed that you also do sell some of Boynton Brewery's beers in your restaurants.
Yeah, one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I did was because when we opened, or when I first built out the food truck, one of the first places that allowed us to come and set up were the breweries, due south and Copper Point specifically, and that's really kind of where I saw that there was a larger market that we could attack by just kind of getting into a more diverse location. So with that being said, I always wanted to make sure that I had, Copper Point and due south on tap, or at least in a bottle or in a can in all of my locations. So as well as here and Boynton and Boca, you can get Copper Point and due south beers there.
That's great. We love our Boynton breweries. So now let's have some fun. We know that you sell your branded barbecue sauce on your website. How many orders do you receive a month, and where's like the farthest you've ever sent your barbecue sauce?
So the farthest that we've sent barbecue sauce on an order was San Diego, and I don't know who it was, but someone obviously must have visited here and follows our social media and saw that we were doing barbecue sauce. So we sent barbecue sauce to San Diego. And as far as the orders, we get more in-person orders for barbecue sauce, so we average probably about 10 to 20 orders per month on the sauce, which is good just to have an e-commerce situation, but we don't do a whole lot of online ordering because there's only really 3 products, which is just the barbecue sauce.
Right, but it's so good that once people visit from California, they still want it.
Right.
So how is Troy's BBQ celebrating Black History Month?
Well, one thing that we're doing is we're doing 28 days of Black History Month. So one thing through our social media, what we are doing is we are featuring every day a different legendary pitmaster or chef or baker or a bourbon distiller or any of those things, and you can see a small biopic or biography on those people on our social media via Instagram or Facebook. So we've done those every single day.
That's great. What advice would you have to give to any aspiring Black entrepreneur who might want to start their own business?
To any, the best advice I can give to any, not just Black entrepreneur, but any entrepreneur, is to understand the market that you're trying to enter in, for one, and then try to do some market research, as opposed to just saying that I know how to make a really awesome dessert and everyone's going to want it just because I said it's awesome. There's a lack of research that I see or have heard of when people try to come up with new products or enter into retail markets or any kind of market. If you want to cut grass and be landscaping, you at least kind of got to know how you're going to make a nut at the end of the day. Like, well, how does the larger companies, make it or become successful? Well, they have several contracts, and it's not just 5 yards that they can cut, but they've got a couple communities and things like that. So you really need to be able to have an idea of where you're going. You need to know where you're going.
So what has been the most rewarding part of owning your own business?
The most rewarding part of owning my own business has actually been to employ other people. So one thing that I've told a lot of people, and I've said this now, it seems like I've been saying it since about a year now, is that I can't afford to get COVID. And it's like, what do you mean? I said, are you high risk? I'm not high risk, but I can't afford to get COVID. I can't afford to be sick, because me being sick means that you all might not get what you need the way that you need to get it as far as my employees are concerned. So I've taken a million necessary steps to try to insulate myself from contracting or contacting the coronavirus, because you don't know how it's going to respond to your body, one. And even though I don't have any pre-existing conditions, I can't afford to allow my employees to kind of not know what's going to happen with the person that signs the checks.
So let's go back to your menu. What would you say is Troy BBQ's best seller?
The best selling item that we have is ribs. We cook more ribs than anybody that has a barbecue grill. We have, in total in our arsenal, we have 3 1,000-gallon smokers. So we can, on average, put on a smoker about 360 slabs of ribs at one time over all 3 locations. And that's just the big ones. And then we've got a couple of little small ones that we do chickens and things like that on. But the best item that we sell is our ribs, certainly.
And how long do the ribs take to cook?
2 to 3 hours. And that's another trick, that because we use direct heat instead of like smoking it and all this dry rub and things people think is the best way to do it, we can turn out a quality rib that has just the right amount of pull in literally half the time as any other person that's using one of those set it and forget it type machines.
Sounds delicious. So would you say that it's ribs that sets Troy's BBQ apart from everyone else?
I think what sets Troy's BBQ apart from all the other barbecue restaurants is that we try our best to stay true to our core values of being consistent. So, we try not to deviate from where we buy products. We try not to deviate from trying a whole lot of new ingredients and recipes and things like that. I mean, I've been criticized for not having fried fish and not having salads and wraps and bowls and all these kinds of things. However, some things have to be just kind of the way they are. You stay true to what works for you. So the more you get out there and start trying fried shrimp and this item and that item, and you deviate from your true goal and mission. So we try to stay consistent to what we are. And we're a barbecue restaurant. We're casual. This isn't fine dining. Our Boca restaurant has a bar where features a lot of bourbons and things like that. And our West Palm was going to have a featuring a lot of craft wines. But at the heart of it all, it's still going to be barbecue cooked outdoor on a smoker.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. And for anybody out there who hasn't tried Troy's, come visit them. They have a dining room. They have a drive-through on Federal Highway in Boynton Beach. And of course, we are so thankful that you took the time, and we thank you so much.
Thank you.